Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about this boat hire design that, just like the impossible maze, seems really easy to complete, but yet the guests will never find the exit. Let's start with a standard boat hire and then work our way up to the impossible boat hire. Most often the boat hire is built as just a station on a bit of water and nothing else. This allows the guests full freedom in where they want to go and they can stay on the water for as long as they like. However, sometimes they stay on the water for much longer than they want to because they are too stupid to find the exit. Even though guests are intelligent enough to know the exact intensity rating of a ride just by looking at it, they somehow are terrible at all kinds of pathfinding, which includes boat hires. If the water area is small enough, like in the scenario Katie's Dreamland, it's fine. They might struggle a bit, but eventually they'll find the end of the station. If you're having obstacles in the water, it becomes trickier. In this case, the guests cannot cross the path that is directly on the water, but they also don't seem to detect it and still try to pathfind through it. For example, these jet skiers went under the path where it's elevated a bit and are now stuck quite close to the end of the station, but they will never get there because they don't realize that they need to go back under the path bridge. You could use these obstacles to just block off the end of the station entirely, making the boat hire impossible to ever complete. But that's not what I'm talking about in this video, as that's the same as just making a coaster get stuck somewhere on purpose. A tool used to mitigate the bad pathfinding is the guide railings that you can build. If you build a full circuit with this, guests will follow it and the ride will behave much like a car ride but on water. This is a bit boring, but at least the guests will not get lost. You can also build only part of a complete circuit to guide guests in the right direction while also not taking away their freedom entirely. Once guests find the guide rail that is connected to the end of the station, they'll enter it and be back in the station in no time. So, if guests can enter guide railings again when they are in an open space, then why is the boat hire in the thumbnail impossible? After all, they don't really have much choice on where to go. All the guests can do after they leave the first set of railings is enter the next one, and after that enter the one connected to the end of the station. Well, let's just run it and see what happens. Once the boat enters the tiny open area, it gets stuck. For some reason, the guests refuse to enter the next set of guide railings. Even when the next boat enters the same open area, they still won't go forward. The reason for this is that guests refuse to enter any guide railings that aren't connected to the end of the station. This was likely done to prevent guests from going back into the one connected to the front of the station and getting stuck. But it also has the unintended side effect of making perfectly fine boat hires impossible to complete. To prove this, we can just build 3 different boat hires. 2 where we have removed one of the open spaces and in the middle the original one. When one of the 2 open spaces is removed, all the railings connect either to the front or the end of the station, and as a result the guests will complete the boat hire without any issues. Only when there is a disconnected section that they have to go through, it becomes impossible. It's always funny to find setups like this where for a normal human the ride is incredibly easy to complete, while the guests will get stuck for all of eternity. It makes you wonder what exactly is going through their minds and why they are all deciding to not enter the railings that clearly lead back to the station. Their brains must be quite different from our own, so maybe they're not human after all and instead they're an alien species that has enslaved the human race to build theme parks for them. That's something to think about. If you liked this video, consider giving it a like or leave a comment. You can also subscribe or follow me on Twitch. Thank you all for watching and I will see you in the next video.